What's up, family? Um, I just wanted to talk about. I'm gonna just go because I know nobody's here yet, but people will watch this later. I just wanted to talk about how they built this society on the backs of melanated people, just like the thumbnail I put up there. And a lot of Americans that are white people will get like hear the content and be offended. And I'm like, that's okay, because if you get offended, you just can't handle the truth. Because what actually happened to our ancestors and the loss of our land is actually way worse than us offending you with bringing up the things your ancestors did for you to live on our land. And I don't mean to offend people, but that's really where it's at right now. Like, if y'all actually, if you Christians and you people that proclaim to love the Bible and love this stuff, if you actually read the Bible, you would understand that it's a process of Israelites being blessed by God and chosen as his people, right? Being destroyed for disobedience to God after certain periods of righteousness and wickedness, right? And ultimately being destroyed at the destruction of their enemies. And that's why in the book of Revelations, the 12 tribes of Israel stand up at the end of times. And that's, you're like, America's close to that. But I know it's easy to get lost in this world and feel like that's not going to happen. But the truth is, like, God is a sleeper cell, bro. He really is. He's going to pop out and catch them sleeping. He's going to catch you with your pants down. And you think everything's good. Like, remember when he told Noah build that boat? He's like, yeah, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to laugh at you. And they're going to make fun of you. But build that boat. And when it started raining, because it had never rained before at that time, when it started raining, them niggas panicked. He said it was going to rain. And they all tried to get on his boat. And God shut the door. He was like, hell no, don't try to get on the boat now. And that's what a lot of them are doing that now. They're trying to jump onto our boat. And I'm like, no, we giving life rafts to people that want to look for information. That's what you gotta do. Because everyone has to look for information. Everyone has to search for truth. If you're not searching for truth, what are you doing, bro? If you're out in this world and your whole life is pleasure and enjoyment, what are you doing? And then people will try to like, because this goes on, I share my stuff on other platforms, you know? So people will try to argue with me about, oh, where Egypt is and where America is and where all this stuff is. And these people don't even know nothing. They just been watching TV their whole life. They literally are. That's why, if you ever notice, these people don't troll you with information. Like, they're not out here trolling with information because they can't. Because when they do use a little bit of information, I'm like, oh, I could easily debunk that with your own information from your scientists and your accepted things, which proves that they don't know what they're talking about. So why would I listen to you? And this all goes back to the Gentiles admitting that their fathers have inherited lies. If they would do that, because they want to fight vigorously. Black people weren't here, bro. Y'all don't get to say who was here or not, guys, and y'all don't get to say who gets to come here or not. That's not like you. If you really look this up, Europeans or white people have colonized like 60% of the world. Look it up. I mean, look up what happened in Australia to the Tasmanians and the black people there, and the melanated people there. I mean, y'all basically took over China and India for a whole period, and y'all ruled that and China and India over there, because the real China and the real India is over here, and that India is Hindustan. Now I know that sounds crazy, but we're really in the East. So when they're saying all these things, you kind of got to dodge the hijacks with these histories, because there's phantoms and duplications, and what it really is about is no one understanding truth. That's just deception. But if you put it into learn deception, or how, I know it sounds dumb to for I mean, no, it's actually wise to know thy enemy. So if you study how satanic people work, you understand that one big principle they follow is inversion. They invert truth. They inverted the compass. Now you think you in the west, you in the east. You see what I'm saying? It's inversion. So when you understand that mindset, by default, you can figure out a lot of things naturally. But people don't want you to know the truth. You know, it's a dark, dark system out there, bro. And you know what? It was built off our backs, just like that thumbnail said. Like, y'all seen the thumbnail. It was built off our backs. They had to have built it off of our backs. You know why? If they don't build things off of our backs, then they would have to get up and really establish cities and build temple. And we obviously know they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they don't they don't even need to be in charge, and I don't think a lot of them want to be. Like a lot of them don't. They just want to get paid. Like you get what I'm saying? They don't want to like be an engineer. They just want to get paid. That's why that shit's always falling apart. A bridge can get hit by a boat and go away because that's a bridge they built. The bridge we built are still here, and you can tell because they're all the ones with the defensive structures, like the one between New Jersey and Philadelphia, like Camden and Philadelphia. Yeah, y'all seen that? That place has defensive fortifications. So that bridge, obviously, the older bridge that was there before they put the metal frame there and used the same supports, was guarded. And you know what? They don't do that for decorations. They're not going to build functioning defensive fortifications for a decoration. And they attribute all this stuff to like everything's a lie, guys. Everything you ever was told was a lie. So when they're attributing all this great creation and all this construction, and the first thing they say is, well, they had slave labor. And I'm like, bro, that doesn't make no sense to me because if people can't read and write, they're not building pyramids. They're not constructing esoteric things. They're not working, principles like, because in these buildings and structures I talk about, there's principles like cymatics worked into the construction, right? There's piezoelectric crystals in the fucking pillars. They're being compressed and producing electricity. Like these buildings, they don't want you to know. That's why they lock them all down. Like everyone's a church or anything important has a church under it. Like you guys want to know where all the good information is? Like there's no way they took it all to the Vatican and they burned it all. A lot of these churches, since the old times, they've been having them in that so-called second basement, and no one's allowed to go into where they do the rituals. The Black Sundays, the Black Sabbaths. What do they call them? And a lot of these churches do, bro. Y'all think it's a coincidence that Jewish church they found that synagogue in New York, which is an ancient synagogue, by the way. Everybody ancient, all that shit is old, right? That they found all of them tunnels with them people in them. They was trying to say the kids built them. Yeah, right. I mean, that was just nasty. Them people literally blamed the children. They were smuggling children, got caught, and blamed the children. And it is game over for them. It's time to come to the truth, guys. Like, your history is a big lie. It's a big lie. Your history claims that horse and buggy people built the Philadelphia Art Museum. Okay? And then somebody was trying to tell me, well, electricity was around back then. I'm like, electricity had just been, there was no application up for electricity other than a light bulb. Okay? So don't tell me they were cutting pillars and no. You know what? I've been to Harrisburg. I seen the Capitol complex there. I seen the buildings there. I've been a couple places, bro. I've been to California. I've been a couple places. So I've been to Utah. That was on my old Facebook channel before they took that down. You know what I'm saying? I've been a couple places. I've seen what's in this country. And then what's in this country is amazing things that doesn't make no sense. If you go to Nashville, Tennessee, they got a place that they call the replica of the Parthenon, which makes me think that Nashville, Tennessee is actually Athens, Greece. Now, people say, well, you're saying that's Egypt and Greece. Yeah, well, a lot of these countries overlapped because different rulerships. And Egypt was conquered. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these territories overlapped. Yes. So, yes, I think that Nashville is Athens. And you know why I think that? It's because you don't build a replica of the Parthenon for a World's Fair, or for the Centennial Expedition there and tear it down. That's just not realistic. And then if you've seen what was on, like the drawings of the buildings there, it's like, bro, that was the least spectacular thing they saved. There was more spectacular shit around it that they destroyed. Bro, it's crazy, bro. It's like, and then these people, their ignorant ass descendants, gonna sit there and be like, we don't owe you nothing. That's why y'all gonna be judged because y'all, like it says in Psalms 9, like, yo, y'all destroyed cities, bro. What did David say? Oh, thou enemy. Y'all has destroyed cities, and their memorial has perished with them. That's what's going on here, bro. And they want to play it all off like it's cool. And most of them are clueless and brainless, and that's because of the wickedness of their own ancestors. That's nothing to do with us, bro. Whatever happens to them is what happens to them. Really, really, we be blessing them by putting out any information for them to understand. Because really, really, there's going to become a time where it's quiet and ain't going to be nothing there. And nobody going to be saying nothing. Yeah, they destroyed some temples, but they took over the temples, bro. They started pretending to be us and pretending to have. Listen, man, if those Jewish people, and that's what all your religion is based off of. Those people being every other religion that is Abrahamic is based off of those people being the Jews. Those, and if they're not, then all you Christians, all you people that getting it, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to stop and you need to reflect. And that's what you need to do. You need to stop and you need to reflect on what you've been taught and what those people at those times who was colonizing this country, preaching all that stuff that you believe now, were really doing. Because they wasn't out here loving people to death. They was out here enslaving people and out here raping children and stuff like that, and bad and very bad stuff. And y'all think like all that stuff is gone with. No, y'all just don't see it. It's not surface level anymore. Every once in a while a big case like Epstein or something breaks to the surface, and then you start to see the wickedness of the people in power. A bunch of names were listed on his flight logs, bro. Nobody is in jail. They're not doing nothing about that. Will Smith was on there. I want to see him go. It was a lot more, let's say, Caucasian celebrities than there was so-called African American celebrities. Let's just say that. But what did that? What? Look, and then your society is so bad that all these people can get implemented in that, and then no one is getting prosecuted for that. I bet that was Jewish society. They'd be like, what? Well, he did what? Well, stick this iron rod in him and show him how that feels. Like that's because really, really, the Jews did what you did, bro. They believed in that, and they was like, that was your judgment, bro. You got what you was giving out, and there's a bunch of cases of that, and that kept the society righteous because if you was trying to, falsely accuse a man and have his life taken away, then that was going. You should get what you tried to. You know what I mean? And that's what Christ was trying to tell y'all when he wrote all those words to y'all, because and ultimately, like, whatever one people does to another people is gonna happen to that people. Y'all just got off. Y'all got to run on for a long time. Y'all got to run on for a long, long time. And now that our Father is gonna return to this earth He created and check up on His, blood descendants He left here, it's not going to be good. And that's what's really going on. That's why they started this whole Space Force. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, come on, bro. They got a space defense force. For what? They scared of our Father, bro. They're not defending. Outer space is other lands across many, many, many waters. That's why it says there's a firmament and then there's waters above the firmament. And our Father happens to rule the universe, right? And He happens to rule with fury. So when He's coming to be destructive, like that God in the Old Testament y'all heard about, yeah, he had left us alone. And all that destruction y'all heard about, that shit is real, and y'all about to find out. And then they won't even be talking about what happened in Egypt. They're going to be talking about what happened in America. You see what God did to the Americans? Destroyed them utterly. And that's why it's talking about people being destroyed utterly. And then most people believe that God's forgiving everybody. I got to argue with them that, like, no. And God doesn't forgive everybody. And God says He hates people too. And they go, what? God don't hate. How could you be love and all hate? I'm like, because of when you act a certain way, He starts to hate y'all, bro. And a nation of people that act a certain way, He hates. And God loved Jacob and hated Esau, right? Is that correct? That's in the Bible. So when people want to talk about all this other stuff, they they gonna be upset, bro. It's gonna be a very upsetting and ground shaking thing. And then this country's prime for it. Like we're overdue for terrible natural disasters. Like these wildfires ain't nothing, and that's only affecting them. It really is the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham. If you guys look up, it's pseudepigraphical, but they removed that from the Bible. And they removed it because it reveals the truth about the Israelites and who they are and the real Bible interpretations. And it said at the end of this 400 years of captivity here, that God was going to judge this nation. And this nation's coming about around about to its 400-year, lifespan. And most nations don't even, most righteous nations will last like double that. A wicked nation, you're lucky it lasts so long, but y'all forgot that God was merciful. So when he was seeing all this wickedness going down, he was judging us. So he had to turn his face away from us. Now he's turning his face back to us, and you see all these crazy events happening. Then the borders open, and now they're saying, really, they keep saying Africans are pouring into this country. No. One, it's Gentiles from other countries being summoned for the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and it's our people pouring in. And they're pouring in from all over the country. Oh, because there's black people everywhere. Of course they're coming up here. Really, they're being summoned too. Everyone's being summoned. That's why the borders are open. You guys think that Trump is about to save you? That man is faking getting shot in the ear. Like, come on, bro. That man is faking being shot in the ear. That's what you're... Look, everybody seen him without his ear joint. His ear fine. His ear is fine. No one gets shot in the ear or gets grazed in the ear and has a completely fine ear, a fine face and an ear. Them bullets going by do damage. Like you can't be. I know it sounds dumb, but like there's plenty of evidence out now. Them people, all of this politics shit is theater. Trump isn't against Biden, and Biden isn't retarded. Biden's perfectly cognitive. It's all theater. It's all theater because they need you to be pro-corporation, which is America, the big corporation. They need you to be anti-God. They started a space force to defend against space. If aliens was coming to this earth from a high civilized technology with a society that has achieved space travel according to what they believe about space, which is millions and millions of light years, right? Why the hell would they want to come here and do anything to you? What you're really witnessing are the janitors. And in the Bible, they're described as the angels, bro. They are the janitors. And they come and clean shit up. There's stories from the military that they've declassified about when they were testing nuclear weapons, spacecraft coming out from under the water. A big key is the water because they don't really come from the sky. They're going under the firmament that's capping us in here and coming out the water and shutting down their nuclear missile test, just shutting it down. And they got declassified documents. Bro, actually, a lot of the stuff I'm saying can be proven with the government declassified documents. They got the Smithsonian has documents they've declassified. People, what I recommend is if you're really smart, start doing Freedom of Information Request Act. It might take a while, but you can get free information. The government knows all this. This is some of their best kept secrets. That's why they work all that symbolism into their money. Because, like, in order for the forces of evil that run this world to not have God interfere for so long, they got to give people choice. And when I mean choice, is that they have to put the truth out in front of you. And that's what they do with the symbolism on the money and in the movies like National Treasure. And they understand that when you start understanding this, it's going to trigger a response from our Father to come down to this earth and set everything right. Not just for us, but for the Gentiles too, because y'all know y'all don't want to be in charge. Ultimately, y'all don't want to be in charge of the world because look what you're running it into the ground. Y'all just want to live and eat and whatnot, and the whole planet can sustain all of that. But y'all being in charge, it doesn't sustain because y'all don't want to do your own work, and that's the problem. And the big problem is y'all willing to listen to any influences. Like y'all influence easily, too easily. Except from we can't influence them though. We tell them something like, "Oh, well, our ancestors used to own your ancestors. What the fuck can you tell us? That's how y'all coming." And y'all heads too, because like the pride thing being their heads, they just don't open their mouth and say it now because now there's repercussions and there's hate speech laws. And really, those hate speech laws are set up to protect you. Because if I really opened my mouth and you read the Bible and said the truth, they would take my video down. If I really told y'all the knowledge I know about what's in those things they made everybody take for the coronavirus, they would take my video down. If I really told y'all all the knowledge I had, they would take my shit down. I really can't. And I have videos taken down and lives taken down because I was breaking down a complex concept that I did research about. Google Lucifer rays. That's what you got. Google Lucifer rays. Right? Y'all want to know what's in y'all? Google Lucifer rays. Google magnet test. Like C19 magnet test. Cause I can't even say all that stuff. Because they will take my if I try to like explain to you how I understand it, they would take my thing down because they got this whole prohibition about talking about anything like because they're saying that I'm offering medical advice. And I don't be offering medical advice. You could go get an insert and see this stuff for yourself. Like all those things, you can still go get one. Just ask them for an insert. They're gonna try to give you a little slip that say safe and effective, but ask them for the insert that comes with the package of those jabby jabs. And a lot of people don't have the mental capacity to read through that stuff. I can only read through so much of it myself. What you really gotta do is use the technology because it's a double-edged sword. So you can take pictures of stuff and have the thing basically list off certain things. And I can't tell y'all what it is because once I start mentioning this stuff, they're gonna flag me and tell me I was giving some kind of medical advice, which I don't offer medical advice. But I wanted to have a whole channel on that, but I can't. And I can't do it on other platforms either because Facebook is like that too. And it's really crazy because like this is all about blocking the influence of the Holy Spirit. Ultimately, and population control of a certain population. That's why they try to market it towards a certain population. Bro, I lost jobs over that stuff and everything. Them people are terrible. That's why they shouldn't be in charge. And all those idiots went out and took it, and most of them were the Gentiles. Went out and took that stuff, and it was all experimental. And then people's insurance companies was dropping them because they're like, well, you're taking experimental stuff. I'm not gonna cover you. And the insurance company made them take it. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yo, that's what really like shocked me up. Like they was violating HIPAA and everything. Like that shit went crazy, bro. And all those people with that are brain dead just conform like sheep. They're all the same people that wanted to go, oh, you can't come in this football arena unless you take this. Oh, let me take that so I can watch my Eagles. Because that's all my life is about. It's sports. And I'm a dumbass Roman clone. Like I'm a brain dead Roman clone and I just care about sports and all this dumb shit. but I don't even know that I don't even know what's in the food I'm eating. I don't even make an effort to know. I don't even care. I think I'm protecting my children. I'm feeding them seedless watermelons with all this crazy genetically engineered stuff in it. Watch, they'll be saying soon, if I talk about genetically modified foods, they'll be saying that I'm offering medical advice. And if I tell you what things they specifically not to eat and what stores specifically not to shop at, they're gonna tell you I'm offering medical advice. And then because all these big corporations would lose money. Imagine if I had a bigger channel. Imagine if I was reaching millions of people. That's what happens to these. Yo, when I was coming up, and I'm 29, so I'm a little older, but I'm not that old. But when I was coming up, the internet was still like this open thing full of, yo, you could look up anything and find direct links to it, and there was a bunch of websites with a bunch of things. There was hella shit on YouTube. They took hella shit down. You go to those websites now and try to find the links, they link back to YouTube. No, you can't find them. No, they're gone. They just took everything down. They just took everything down. They just wiped the slate clean. That's what they do here. I mean, you're not in a society of righteousness. You just think you are. Everything is about gaslighting you. They gaslight the hell out of you, bro, too. They do it all the time. And like the historical narratives, they're saying that obelisk in Washington D.C. was taken there from Egypt. And I'll be telling y'all, Egypt's here, so yes, it was taken there from Egypt, but they didn't take it from Egypt over there. That's just a story they tell you. They want you to believe that. And then those countries make millions of dollars off of tourism. You know, Kevin Hart did this thing about like Egyptians, and Egypt tried to sue, like representatives of the Egyptian government tried to sue Kevin Hart for stealing culture. And Kevin Hart probably isn't more Egyptian than they are. That's not even Egypt. But that's how this works. They got all these groups that's going like if you mention Jewish people too much in a negative light, they got a defense league of people that represent Jewish people that attack you legally. Black people don't got that. Don't say the NAACP because that's ran by white people. All them black people groups that you think Black Lives Matter, all that shit is ran by white people. So don't even get mad at us. Don't get mad at us because you tried to have some controlled opposition group that you run and control, and then they're agent provocateurs and all that. Don't get mad. That's not us. They don't represent this movement. Y'all trying to come in with this black awakening and this Hebrew identity awakening. Y'all trying to hijack that and make that about black and rioting in the street and all that. And George Soros fund is the main contributor to all of that shit. And he is a white man, a rich white man. They trying to hijack our movement. That's all it is. They trying to hijack the truth movement. And they know we on the rise. They know we up next. And that's their problem. They trying, and really, they want us to give our power away because if we consent to them ruling us, that's why they want you to vote and all this stuff. If we consent to them ruling us, then we can't complain. And if we certainly can't get help from the Father because we consented to this. See, there are eternal laws in heaven. Everything is about consent. They're like, which one you want to rule you? None of you guys. I'm tired of being ruled by people that don't give a fuck about me, that want me to work my whole life away. Yeah, that Juneteenth bullshit. Yeah, that's all bullshit. They're like, and then there's white people complaining about that. Like they gave them another holiday. I seen videos of it. I was like, wow, that's crazy. We don't even care about. We're not free, bitch. When you been free? Am I free to go do anything? Is anything free here? Like, shut the fuck up. You just became a slave alongside me, and you're too stupid to realize it because they're throwing more treats your way. That's all it is. They'll just throw some more treats your way. And that's all it is, and you're too stupid to realize it. But at the end of days, it's going to all turn back on you. See, karma's a real thing, bro. And what? Look, all the what's real is astrology. Astrology is real, and we're entering the age of Aquarius. So all the lies of colonization are being exposed, and so I'm writing music on the AI music generator and putting it out. So get ready for that wave too. I don't have a recording studio, so it got to be generated. That's the only way I could generate it. I don't have none of that stuff, and I'm not trying to pay for it. You know, maybe one day I'll have a studio and I could do it myself. But yeah, that's what's really going on in this world. It's a wicked, wicked world, guys. It's a wicked, wicked world. And I'll be saying they're throwing more treats your way, and that's just the truth, guys. They're just throwing more treats your way. That's how this works. You'll be, you know, your ancestors was like, oh, them people that's been living on that land up there in the hills for so long, well, they're kind of dark skinned. We're gonna go there. We're gonna kill them. We're gonna take their shit. We're gonna take their women. We're gonna rape them. We're gonna do whatever we want. Then they had all these mulatto people that they had, and then they was trying to put them over us. And they still do that to this day, because when you look up the people that run like the African American studies, they're all mulattoes. So what they do is they look black enough, and then they raise them in these white households, and they're so not connected to us, and then they're the ones teaching us African American studies that they learned from white people. So they think they're learning about their heritage. Most of them are deceived. Most people are deceived, and they're so deceived that they're trying to say, like, these Pan-Africanists are trying to say, like, the kingdom of Judah is in the middle of Africa somewhere, not in the Middle East, but in Africa. I'm like, bro, there ain't no Salt Lake in Africa. There's 3 places in the world with giant inland salt seas. There's 3 places in the world. One's Israel, the other one's in South America, and you know where the other one is? Utah. So right there, there's your 3 candidates for where Jerusalem is. Now, there's a process of elimination for these other places that lead you to Utah, including the presence of the largest cedar trees in the world not too far from there, in Lebanon, California, which is the ancient Lebanon. And then there's a couple other elements, like there's a couple things, like the people do this all the time. Like I'm not gonna sit here and do this unless I'm making an actual video. But people want to be laughing at you, and people think shit is a joke, and they want to laugh at you. And I'm like, we gonna be laughing at the end of days. All right, shalom, family. I'm gonna let y'all go, bro. I know people like my lives. I don't really like to do lives because I be recklessly talking on there, and they be hitting me up. They be hitting me up in them lives. For them lives. That's what be getting my channel flagged. The lives. Cause I be saying whatever, bro. I feel like it's time for that, bro. If we had said this, if I've been talking like this like 50 years ago, they would have killed my dumb ass. Try 60 years ago, they would have killed my dumb ass out here. That's what they did to Malcolm. Right? They would have killed my dumb ass out here. Now, they just gotta sit there and take it. And now right now it's just verbal and they crying. They ain't even getting the whole thing and they crying. Wait till they gotta take the whole thing. All the things they did to us, wait till it comes back on them. They ain't gonna like that. But they don't want to sit down and come to the no kind of agreement or even talk about the history. They want to believe lies. So as long as y'all want to be delusional and believe that your ancestors were the Superman, you know, because that's really what they believe. Like, the feats that they claim they achieved is just incredible, you know. All right, family, shalom. Take it easy. How you end this? I forget.